What really matters here is that your peace of mind.
Attorney Mimz Ayunan, our corporate lawyer, also the owner of Ayunan Law and multiple ventures.
Hi, this is Migs Flores and I'm the founder of Prime Pinoy Community and this is our podcast. We believe that the only way to truly experience success, freedom, and significance is by being top of mind, best in class, and mission driven. And that is what this podcast is all about. I hope this episode adds value to you, inspires possibilities in your heart, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hi everyone, welcome to Prime Pinoy Podcast. This podcast exists so that it can add value to your life. This exists to inspire possibilities so you can make your dreams happen. We share stories of different individuals, different people, most of them experts of their field, so that you can make better decisions, so you can gain more knowledge, you can have more awareness, so you can make better decisions in your life. And so for today, ang ating guest is our corporate lawyer, and I'm very proud to have you in this podcast, attorney.
Thank you po.
Okay, he is our corporate lawyer, and attorney Mimz Ayunan is also the owner of Ayunan Law. Tama ba? And multiple ventures. Pag-uusapan natin yan ngayon because his heart really is more into focused. Especially yung tumutulong sa ating mga kababayan. Ang dami niyang project para tumulong sa mga kababayan, making complicated legal terms simplified.
Yes.
And
correct.
nakakatawa. And without further ado, okay, let me introduce to you Attorney Mimz Ayunan. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Coach Migs, for inviting me here. This is my first exposure in the podcast, and I'm very happy and glad that nasa space lang din pala natin yung mga taong pwedeng tumulong sa atin every now and then.
Right. So, sige, simulan natin, attorney. Of course, a lot of people maybe nakita ka na, especially the past week, with a lot of videos that you're creating. Isa-isahin natin yan. But just a little bit of background. What's the background of Attorney Mimz? Of course, more than our lawyer. The reason why you are our lawyer is because we know how good and credible you are. We know how reliable you are both in the Philippines and abroad. Because tama ba, can you expound para lang sa viewers, how does becoming an international lawyer work?
Okay. Simulan natin how I started.
Okay, please.
Okay. I started when I was still when I was still studying law.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually engaged with a financial advisory business.
Right.
Okay? So at that time, yung utak ko, syempre gusto lang kumita, bata, ganun lang. But the thing is, I left the job of being a financial advisor and pursued my pursued my studies with law until such time na ako ay pumasa na ng bar.
Right.
But along the way, nung time na yon na ako ay umalis sa financial advisory, I tried opening up businesses. Several businesses, all at the same time.
Wow.
Then, I failed.
Talaga?
I was so devastated.
Akala ko
so
yung mga
depressed.
katulad mo, hindi na pumapalpak yan.
Hindi,
Normal ka lang
pumapalpak.
din pala, katulad namin.
Tao lang din.
Oh.
Yun yung mga katulad ko na ayaw makinig sa magulang,
Correct.
ayaw makinig sa expert, kasi
Yan.
akala mo, okay na yon dahil ikaw
Akala mo YouTube lang, pwede na.
Yes, pwede na. Akala mo, gumawa ka lang ng isang produkto at ibinenta mo, okay na yon. Pero hindi pala. Even if I was an accountant, I graduated 2 courses, finance and accounting, nalulugi din pala ako sa negosyo.
Right.
Because I think I considered myself as hard-headed, masyado akong matigas ang ulo, and marami akong mga hindi sinunod na process.
Correct.
Gusto ko ng shortcut na mayaman.
Mabilisan.
Ayun, nag-fail pa rin.
Okay.
So, akala ko, na-disappoint na ako, ayaw ko nang magnegosyo ulit.
Right.
When I became a lawyer, ang first job ko at that time is to become a defense lawyer of a certain foreigner who owns recruitment agencies abroad. So, doon ako nagsimula. Kaya ako naging international. I have been engaged with foreign clients who were referred to me by the embassies here in the Philippines.
Right.
So, kapag meron akong kliyente na foreigner, automatic galing sa embassy and refer
So, business law talaga ang forte mo.
Yes. Then, during the process, nasa court na, pumupunta ako ng korte, nag-litigate,
Right.
I realized that there is only one thing that really makes a businessman fail.
Aha.
First is the greediness.
Greed.
Yes.
Okay, ang
that's the
ganda
first
niyan.
greed,
Alright.
Pangalawa, failure to give value.
Okay. Ano ibig
Value
sabihin yan? Yeah.
Means, ano bang klaseng negosyo ka? Are you a value-based business or needs-based business?
Right.
So, dalawa yon. Yun yung una-una kong tinitinan. Then third is, most of the businessmen fail to understand fully the capital structure. Lalo-lalo na yung pinaka-basic accounting formula that asset is equals to liabilities plus capital.
Right.
So from there, I thought of doing something on how I could help a lot of businessmen, whether baguhan pa lang or matagal na, to make themselves be reminded how to protect themselves, the next generation, and everyone.
Correct. Kaya ang tawag mo
Kaya
dyan
siya,
ay...
it's protect everyone.
Right.
Because our job as businessman, it does not end by providing something to our family.
Right.
It has to be providing something even to our friends,
Right.
relatives, and everyone. Hindi dapat dito lang sa atin. And when I say giving value, it does not mean that it should be a gift or money. It could be a knowledge that you can
Right.
share, wisdom,
Right.
that's already a value, and some positive energies that you can give to the people or you can support to them.
Correct.
So, kaya yun yung gusto kong maging gawin, no? Bilang abogado, hindi lang bilang a businessman, na itong protect everyone, it's really a campaign for me, personal campaign,
Wow.
that I would die telling everyone you have to do something, you have to build foundation to protect everyone.
Yeah. What's one or two things in your experience? Of course, you've handled cases. That's your role as a lawyer. May mga taong lumalapit sa'yo, may mga taong nanghihingi ng advice, may mga taong humihingi ng tulong. What's the most common, maybe one or two most common na itinatakbo nila sa'yo?
Ang most common na tinatakbo nila sa akin is yung mga pangakong hindi natupad.
Okay.
Yun, parang pag-ibig lang, no?
Oh.
Pinangakuan ng magandang bahay,
Oh.
joke lang, na magandang kinabukasan pero hindi natupad. So, basically, it's all mostly it's broken agreements,
Aha.
broken promises. Yun. Tapos, second is, syempre, yung utang.
Right.
Utang. So, that's part of the agreement and process, yung utang.
Mhm.
And we
Ano
are
to?
not...
Failure to pay debt.
Yes, failure to pay debt on time.
Right.
Pero sabi ko nga, kahit mayaman ka pa o mahirap, walang exempted sa hindi nakapagbayad ng utang because all of us have obligations. It's just that the money that we need to produce, maybe hindi siya dumating on time kaya hindi ka nakapagbayad o yung sistema mo on handling your finances doesn't make your ends meet, no? Parang kumbaga, hindi sila pwedeng
Pero let's explore on that. Kasi of course, yung iba, no, medyo matapang dito. Hindi ko sinasabing lahat, no? I'm not saying even majority, but some. Medyo matapang dito because there's actually no law with regards to credit.
Okay.
Pero syempre, sabi mo nga, may mga failure to pay debt and it's categorically fall under estafa. Tama ba?
Yes.
So, how will you parang justify that as a lawyer? How will you look at it as a lawyer? Yung difference nung wala naman tayong batas with regards to credit. Therefore, syempre, yung mga credit companies they can just follow up, but they cannot really, yun yung source of confidence ng iba para mangutang tapos hindi magbayad.
Okay. I think there's two things that we need to look into that.
Can you enlighten us on that?
Yes. First and foremost, it's whether or not that transaction is arising from a simple debt.
Okay.
Simple debt. Pautang ako kasi may kailangan akong paggastusan. Whether sa medication.
So, kahit peer-to-peer lang?
Kahit saan lang. But when it comes to utang in a sense na depende kung ang purpose mo nun is investment.
Okay.
in a form of investment. For example, a Ponzi scheme.
Right.
No? You gathered money, hindi siya utang hindi to utang, but you ask someone to invest in your venture and then you use that money or misappropriate it in some other things.
Correct.
Yun yung estafa.
Okay.
Kasi you were entrusted that money, no, na gamitin mo siya for a certain business venture or kung ano man yung dapat mong bilhin for that purpose, kung ano man yung agreement nyo, pero you use that money to some other expenses. So that means, yun na yung misappropriation. So, kung ang intention mo is to deceive the person, that's estafa.
So
Clear
kapag
estafa.
tumama na yan sa misappropriation of funds, automatic, ano na yan?
Estafa.
Parang, anong tawag dyan? Probable,
May probable cause na.
probable cause.
Yeah, to file a case of estafa against the person.
Yeah, pag-usapan natin yan. I love
Yeah.
that, attorney. There's a lot of, especially in the age today, especially magpapasko ngayon, okay, and nakakalungkot, but I've been hearing some reports, I've been hearing some news of a lot of Ponzi schemes, no?
Yeah.
Unang-una, of course, how would people, makapag-ingat dito? Pangalawa, let's say, kunwari nga, na prove na nga that they are into Ponzi scheme. No, how would they seek the justice system for that?
Unfortunately, it's very hard to prove it. First and foremost, kaya nga sinasabi ko is prevention is better than cure.
Okay.
Do not think na kapag ikaw ay nag-invest, you will just rely to your lawyer lahat ng mess na nasimulan mo. When it comes to this Ponzi scheme, you have to prove it in court na talagang yung pera na misappropriate nila is really intended to deceive someone.
Okay.
Can you possibly do that? Can you possibly secure documents or evidence for you to prove that your creditor or your debtor used that money to some other investment? Like kung ano man, di ba? The way how Ponzi scheme works, di ba?
Right.
So, I don't think there would be a good law that we can produce or a jurisprudence na pwede nating gamitin for us to defend ourselves because investment is seen as a civil aspect, can also be seen as a civil aspect, and investment can also be a criminal aspect depende on the availability of your evidence. So, ang tanong ko sa'yo lagi, kaya mo bang patunayan? And because of that, I would rather tell you to do the other way around.
Okay.
And that is to protect yourself by way of doing the due diligence.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Because dito sa Pilipinas, unfortunately, no, hindi pa ganon kalalim ang ating mga laws when it comes to investment. At lalong-lalo na, banggitin na natin with cryptocurrencies and
Right.
coins. Madaling mag-invest like 10,000, 20,000, someone will ask you, then papakitain ka lang, and then later on, nawala na.
Correct.
Diba? Mahirap siyang habulin. Because first and foremost, wala kang ebidensya. Wala kang ebidensya na kaya mo dalhin sa korte. Kailangan meron tayong case build-up or studies about it before mo po dalhin. So kung 10,000 lang ang in-invest mo, isang savings mo na lang yan, hayaan mo pang mawala yun, di ba? Parang you would spend time and effort na habulin yung 10,000 mo. Wala ka namang binigay na talaga na ebidensya doon. So, paano magkakaroon ng probable cause? Paano aakyat sa korte yun? Yun yung tanong mo doon lagi.
Okay, so ito, you made a recent video.
Yes.
Okay, and I will post it here, no? You made a recent video on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Okay, and sabi mo nga, prevention is better than cure. You have 3 best pieces of advice.
Yes.
Because, and I want you to, also parang answer both sides of the coin.
Yes.
Kasi whether we like it or not, sabi ko nga, technology never moves backward. Technology only moves forward. And another thing here is that, especially with digital currencies, no, or the blockchain, the technology itself, it is promising in some sort. However, at this time and age, sabi mo nga, and totoo naman, it's also risky at this point. So, you pointed out 3 pieces of advice. Number 1 is conducting an extraordinary due diligence before investing, which is doing your own research. I agree with that. Number 2, and I want you to expound on this, limit your financial exposure to 1% of your cash on hand. How will that work? For example, yun nga, 10,000. Eh, yung ibang tao, wala naman yung 1%. So, kailangan may 1 million ka. Di ba? For you to invest 10,000. So, what would you advise to those people? Wala naman silang 1 million. And it's not even, so 10,000 automatically means it's not 1% of their cash on hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bakit 1%? No? Ang yun ang tanong ko, bakit 1%? How much are you willing to lose? For me, it's 1%. Yung lose na hindi ko na siya babalikan. Because when you invest on crypto, it doesn't mean na doon mo iaasa yung pagkain mo, yung pambayad mo sa renta, pambayad mo sa bills. What if someone invites you to, hey, do you have 20,000 there? Give it to me, I will invest it, and then I will pay back you maybe maybe 30 days, 60 days. Pag ganun, ibabalik lang sa'yo. Ang question dito, are you willing to take the risk of investing your money, that remaining 20,000, para lang magkaroon ka ng opportunity na mag-invest pero walang kasiguraduhan? Eh, paano kung umabot sa punto na wala? Na wala yung pera? Can you tell your lessors na antay lang po muna, nahulugi po ako sa negosyo, hindi ko mababayaran yung rent? Can you tell your family na wala tayong makain ngayon kasi hindi na-invest ko sa ibang bagay yung pera? Can you do that? If you can, then go, invest your money. But if not, don't ever do it. Limit your exposure to 1%. It's just a test.
Okay.
If that 1% works, then try mo hanggat sa mag-work sa'yo. But, I'd like to raise the point here na yung third advice.
Yeah.
If you took the risk, don't ever invite other people, especially your relatives, to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Kasi kapag nalugi yan, whether you like it or not, that person will blame you. Really, that person will blame you.
What examples do you have na real stories around this?
Okay, I recently, just this month, I received a certain consultation. Actually, I asked the client that I will share to the public. Okay lang sa kanya, but I will not mention their names. The client actually invited by a friend to invest a certain mobile application na engage in the Bitcoin. And then, bloating syempre yung presyo na, tumaas agad yung value ng kanyang currency. That after few days, bumaba, then tumaas ulit. Fluctuating. So, yung in-friend niya, sige, dyan lang yan. Huwag nyo nang withdrawin yung pera nyo. Dyan lang yan. Nakikita nila, nag-fluctuate. So, they were given the opportunity, pag nag-invite ka ng friend mo, bibigyan kita ng another bonus. So, syempre, dahil yung greediness natin nandun, nag-invite ng isang kamag-anak na tito na nagkaka-retire lang.
Yeah.
So, as a retiree, may nakukuha silang pera. Ito naman si retiree, syempre, gusto niyang humaba. Lumaki yung pera niya, in-invest niya.
Okay.
And then what happened after 1 month? It's gone.
Can you mention the app?
I cannot mention the app yet.
Hindi pwede. Okay.
Muna, kasi we are formulating a case against them actually. We're formulating a case. So, but I see the trend, no?
Yeah.
Even if sa messenger ko, maraming mga filtered messages na akong nare-receive na keso si ganon, ako po yung hinahabol, attorney, ano po yung gagawin ko? Ikaw talaga hahabulin. Whether we like it or not, kahit may legal capacity sila to habol against you or wala, ikaw ang habulin.
Kasi ikaw ang
nag-invite. Yes. So, ito lang masasabi ko, friends, no? Mga kapatid, ito lang masasabi ko sa inyo. Kapag may ganitong sakuna, it is not about legal on what to do. For me, what really matters here is that your peace of mind.
Love it. Yeah.
Your peace of mind.
Love it.
How much peace of mind would you like to sacrifice para lang dyan sa isang investment na yan, habang buhay mo naman siyang pagsisihan. Diba? So, huwag mo na akong tanungin kung legal ba yung ginawa ng tao o hindi. Because legal, nasa libro lang yan, nasa korte lang yan. Hindi kayo ang may stress. Mas may stress kayo sa taong mangungulit sa inyo.
Correct.
Kung anong mangyayari sa korte, ano ang resulta. And of course, ikaw, yung pang-araw-araw mo na kain, sa halip na ikaw ay magtatrabaho, maghanap buhay, na focus ka na lang doon sa mga bagay na kailangan mong habulin yung taong nagloko sa'yo. So, ano yung mas importante sa'yo? Yung peace of mind mo o yung pag-take mo ng risk?
Right. How would you qualify that also? Since, of course, yun nga, blockchain or Web3. No, I'm not sure if you have looked it over. It's really some sort of the future. It's really very promising. Although not a lot of projects, but the general idea itself. The general idea itself, how would you qualify that? Kasi syempre, no, we know some people, we've got some, ako personally, I have friends also that are really seeing the promise of this. Pero syempre, meron nga, katulad natin, on the other extreme, meron nga tayong mga certain projects or certain organizations that actually take advantage of it. Na, yun nga, nung narinig ko pa lang yung kwento mo kanina, kapag meron kang makukuha sa referral, medyo sketchy na yan, no? Kasi fixed yan eh. So, ibig sabihin, napapaikot lang yung pera. Hindi siya talaga nai-invest. So,
there was no income.
There was no investment to begin with. Kasi saan manggagaling yung referral fee mo? So, how would you put a balance to that?
Okay. First and foremost,
on a lawyer perspective.
I'd like to congratulate everyone, no, na for adopting the technology. Kahit ako naman, talagang agree ako sa making our lives easy, no. But the problem is, in terms of investment, hindi pa ako familiar dun sa Web3, but in terms of investment, dito sa mga mobile app na to, hanggat wala tayong regulation, hanggat walang batas that could control them, say no to that kind of investment.
Okay.
Say really no. Why? Very easy lang naman magpa-hype eh. What if yung mga investing company na yan, yung mga Bitcoin companies na yan, sumama lang sa hype, ang gusto lang naman ay mang-scam din. How can you qualify now?
Right.
Hindi mo na siya makakwalify, di ba? Kasi hindi mo na alam dyan kung sino yung legit at saka sino yung hindi. Ito, we-mention ko, kasi alam naman ng lahat yan, tulad na lang ng 𝐿𝐼𝐶𝐻, yung gems. Di ba? Even if you gain a lot of gems, yung sa 𝐿𝐼𝐶𝐻, hindi siya convertible into money.
How would you qualify that? Because there was a moment in 2021. You can use that to to pay for goods. You can even pay your bills using the gems. But it's partnered with Meralco, with PLDT at the time. So before there was a BSP circular around it, you can pay for your food in restaurants. Could you expound further on that?
That was a risk on the part of these stores. These merchants. Kasi sinapunta na sa kanila lahat ng payment ng gems Even if they collected millions of gems, ang question ngayon, were they able to convert it into cash? Kasi whether we like it or not, the legal currency here is money.
Peso pa rin.
Peso pa rin.
Yeah.
Pero, ang question, si Meralco ba o di kaya si PLDT ba, naibayad ba nila yun sa mga employees nila? Naibayad ba nila yun sa mga tao nila? Or even kahit anong expenses? I think no.
Right.
So, for me, it's very risky to, okay, sige, assuming gusto mo talaga subukan, but do not extend your limit, no, for more than what you can take. I mean, how much you can lose.
Yeah.
Doon tayo pupunta How much are you willing to lose?
Right.
Magkano ba yung kailangan mo i-save at magkano yung ang okay lang sa'yo mawala?
Good. Ang ganda lang nung sinabi mo. Especially the audience or the main demographics of the new wave, no? Of this one is really kabataan. What would you advise? Sabi mo nga, legal, illegal. It's no longer a matter of legal, nabanggit mo. It's really a matter of peace of mind already. Yeah. What would you recommend? Or what would you advise, no? What tips will you give? Kasi especially ang mga into that right now, let's say Gen Zs, Gen Y Gen Zs. And of course, dahil bagong wave nga ito, syempre there's a lot of excitement about it. Of course, on the other end, there's a lot of fear and uncertainty on it. What would you give as a tip or advice?
Okay. First and foremost,
Kasi syempre, you don't want, di ba, sabi mo nga, we don't want na umabot pa sila sa legal battle because there's a lot of procedure around it.
correct.
And correct me if I'm wrong, ang tagal nito.
Correct. Ang tagal ng litigation process, guys.
Oh, it will take years.
Correct.
Kapag recess pa or, sarado, kunyari, na brown out yung korte, automatic, move lahat yan. So,
Correct.
what will you give advice to prevent and avoid?
Okay. First and foremost, I would understand all the youngsters right now
Mm.
are very aggressive into investing. Masarap magkamali, sa totoo lang. Masarap malugi. For me, nung una, akala ko depressed lang ako nung nalulugi ako sa negosyo, di kaya nagkaroon ako ng mga bad decisions. I realized now na ang sarap pala na pinagdaanan ko yon because I've learned a lot from there. Okay? So, kung gusto nyo lang talaga to have the exposure on that kind of business or yung investment, just limit your exposure na yung hindi mo nahahabulin.
Right.
I think that's the best thing that I could advise to you guys. And do not invite any of your relatives. Ikaw lang.
Mahal sa buhay,
Yung baon mo lang. For example, ikaw ay kumikita ng 1,000 pesos sa magulang mo every month. Then you have 4,000. Kung gusto mo talagang matikman, masaktan, invest mo yun. Pero wag ka nang mag-invite ng iba.
Right.
Because what you are protecting here is your image also.
Yeah.
People will avoid you later on. People will lose the connection with you. Mag-disconnect talaga sila sa'yo na hindi ka na nila tatawagan. Kung pwede, ibablock ka pa nila.
Right.
If ever na magkaroon ka ng maling image sa kanila that you are not so diligent into investing. Kasi dinamay mo pa sila, nadamay ka pa ng ibang tao eh.
Right.
So, kung gusto mo lang talaga ng exposure, ng experience, you can do it, but limit yourselves into how much are you willing to lose or how much are you willing to forgive, to sacrifice. Yun
Right.
lang yun. Doon lang maglilimit yun. So, kung tatanungin nyo ko whether mag-invest, worth it bang mag-invest, sasabihin ko sa inyong hindi. Pero alam ko, hindi nyo ako susundin. So, kung nandoon kayo sa stage na hindi nyo ako susundin, ang next question is, how much are you willing to forgive?
Thank you for listening to Prime Pinoy Podcast. I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned, and I hope you get inspired to make your dreams come true. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Laika. It's at Life Coach Migs. And on YouTube, it's Migs Flores. Click the See First button so you get updates constantly. May God bless you.